Right, welcome back. You know, it is said to be Kenya's land of black gold. The potential of the area is far beyond that which we can imagine. From oil to water, Turkana County stands out as Kenya's pride. However, this is only in paper, just on paper, in some pages. The reality on the ground is disturbing, from families so desperate for food such that they end up even eating dogs, to others literally dying. How bad can the situation get? This is the time to find a tangible solution to the perennial problems in Turkana, and of course to understand the situation currently in Turkana and the possible solutions to the problems. We are honored to have this morning Dr. James Kisia. Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show. Is the Executive Director, International Center for Humanitarian Affairs, and also works with the Kenya Red Cross. Thank you so much indeed. And of course, closer to him is Ekomwa James Lomenen, who is the Turkana South Member of Parliament, and at the furthest end is Protas Akuja, who's the Loima Member of Parliament. Welcome to the Power Breakfast Show. Of course, we've been talking about what's happening in Turkana, and the sad reality is that if we don't feature it on the media, people sort of forget. Perhaps we could start with you, Honorable Protas. What is the situation on the ground in your area?
Thank you very much for at least giving me this time to share or to express what is happening in Turkana County at large. The situation in Turkana, as you see in the news, actually this happened as early as last year, July. This is the time we realized there was to be a drought, or rather hunger, in Turkana County, and this was followed by lack of rains, which actually, as you know, most people in that particular area are livestock keepers, and only a few, which is less than 5%, do a bit of rain farming and riverine farming. And when we realized there was no rain, we knew there would be a problem, and we really contacted the national government through the special program department to be able to tell us if they have any plans for Turkana, now that we already knew what will happen. The special program through the PS told us that the relief and disaster function have been developed in the county government, and therefore it was high time we saw the governor of the county to be able to plan with us how we can be able to mitigate what we had actually projected. And when we met the governor actually told us that he's not aware if relief and disaster has been developed to the county government. So again, we came back and shared with the PS for special program, who actually gave us a long list, a list of 47 counties. Each county allocated relief and disaster, which according to me was also a mistake to them, because in the previous years or governments, not all counties or not all areas receive relief. There are those areas which are prone to hunger, famine, and all this, like Turkana County, West Pokot, Samburu, Garissa, Mandera, Marsabit. Those are the ones which have been benefiting from this. But out of 1.3 billion that was allocated for that relief and disaster, 78 million was part of it that was devolved to Turkana County, and this was, I think, was shared according to MCA, this Chesrem formula. Yeah.
Right. Before we even talk of what's being done at the moment, you know, in terms of relief food, let's just understand where is the problem, because this is something that has been happening perennially. And is it a problem of planning that we don't see this will happen next year, so we need to sort out a couple of things? Perhaps Honorable Lomenen, you could respond to that.
Yeah, surely. Just to confirm what you are saying, this is the problem of planning. You see, with drought, Turkana County has been facing drought almost every year, and we have National Disaster Management Authority, which is supposed actually to advise the government on the situation of the drought in this area. So we have pre-drought period, which is supposed actually to analyze the early warning system, to advise the concerned government organs over the stations. And then we have intra-drought, which when drought has really actually happened, what the government or the concerned agencies are supposed to do. And then we have post-drought period. So one thing that we are also asking, if this authority got the information, where did it take the information? And what action was taken by the government after receiving that intelligence report on the drought? For example, us as leaders and as legislatures, when we have an authority like now, a national disaster management, it is supposed to advise the government. And once the government is advised, it's supposed to take action. So this is where we are questioning that if that authority took the report to the government, what action was taken? And if the action was not taken, when the drought happened, how do we respond to this drought? Because surely, to be so sincere, this issue of perennial drought has really undermined the integrity of Turkanas. Every time, to me, as a leader of that community, every time, I think there is conspiracy between some NGOs and maybe whatever. Every time they want to express that there is a problem, they have to use the example of Turkana. They have to exaggerate that Turkanas have eaten dogs, just to confirm the severity. But you know, that one to us is strong. It is undermining our dignity.
So you're saying it has never happened?
Yes.
It
in our culture, to be so sincere,
Mm.
and I want this one to be got clearly. In our culture, never will a Turkana eat a dog. Never. Whether desperate how, because we have a lot of livestock. Even if we cannot even eat an emaciated goat, we eat a dog.
But it was all over the media. What
Yeah.
are you saying?
You remember the other time?
Yes.
You remember the other time? We know what happened after investigating. There are some NGOs. You remember the other time when that emaciated lady called Aro Korean. When that lady was actually captured, it went in the whole world. People sourcing funds, yeah, for the sake of Turkana. But after getting that fund, it does not come back to the community.
No.
I'm telling you the truth.
No.
Yeah. So the same here.
That project was happened when I was working for Nation Media Group. And I remember we took people there, we raised money under the championship of Nation Media Group. Now you are saying the organizers of that fundraising stole the money.
I can't.
I remember Aro, even with
let me tell you.
and even when she grew up, we took a picture of her.
This is what I want to tell you.
Yeah.
Out of all that was collected, who accounted? How much was collected, and how much went to the community? That's one thing that you are questioning. Who is accounting this money? Because every time there is a drought. Even right now, when that issue of dog, people are busy sourcing funds, internationally, nationally. Who accounts? Just tell me who accounts for this fund, and how much of these funds go back to the community.
Now
that's why I'm saying
even
this issue of dogs, yeah, is an exaggeration.
Okay, fine.
Just people trying actually, it's a proposal.
Let it be an exaggeration. You are the leaders of that area. We have seen pictures of people riding on the road highway looking for water. Even that is an exaggeration, according to you.
No, that's not an exaggeration.
Now,
it is the dog. The issue of the dog is the one that I say it's exaggeration.
I'm saying, you are saying that these Turkana people cannot eat, they can't even eat a machine goat because we have livestock. Then why are people dying? Or you're saying people don't die?
So, you know, dying is an uncertainty when a drought comes. I don't deny that drought is not there. I don't deny that people do not die of hunger. But all that I'm saying, the means we use to express the severity of the problem undermines the integrity of
you remember the chief who went listing the people who died of drought?
That is okay.
And he was sacked.
I even
you
say,
remember?
Yes. I even say,
so
this is what I'm saying. I don't deny they don't die. They die, but not eating dog. I want that one to be.
Can I-
put
Perhaps
off.
Dr.
jump
Kisia, you could.
Can I jump
chip
in? Maybe, I mean, I think we may be missing the point here. I think the issue of eating dog, it can become an emotive issue that takes us away from the actual reality. The reality in Turkana is that it's a complex situation. If we think there's a silver bullet, it's not there. It's an adaptive leadership challenge. Turkana has had poor development. And as long as that poor development remains, and as long as there's no infrastructure for proper pastoralism, infrastructure for production of food, infrastructure for roads, we are going to be talking about Turkana for a very long time. What happens oftentimes is we see a chronic situation and we see a beep that comes up around December, January, sometimes in May. The last drought, 2011, the government declared a disaster in May of 2011. So you have a chronic situation, and here you have the worsening. Just what has happened in Turkana is just the fact that there were no rains in December. It worsened the situation. It was already a chronic situation, and that chronic situation will not be eliminated by by response. We have to have developmental. But apart from that, now when these acute situations or acute crises occur on an already chronic situation, what we ought to do in the first place as a country is to have a platform for early warning and early action. That platform will give us ways and means of reacting differently to the people of Turkana, because some triggers have been hit. Because we know there's no rain, so people are going to suffer a little bit more. Malnutrition is going up. We start seeing very early movement of people from Mheshimiwa's Loima towards Uganda, or from people who are in Kibish moving towards Sudan. These early triggers are the things that we need to pay attention to at the national level, at the county level, because when we respond in this manner of a lot of food at the same time, it is 7 times as expensive as responding very early, and the results are not necessarily good.
But my question is to these leaders: when that early warning comes, where are they? We don't hear. I've never seen them making press conferences, making noise, shouting and saying this is coming. It's now we are seeing you for the first time.
We have been doing that. We will never fail to do that. I think even for this time, 4 months ago, we actually notified the government over that issue.
How did you do it?
We went even to the deputy president to share with him that issue. We went there. We went actually to the National Disaster Management Authority to tell them this. Yeah, even in media, we were saying, we even shared with our governor over the issue, because he was the one who was handling money. Yeah. The other issues also, in the parliament we expressed this. Maybe what we failed to do is to come here. Yeah?
Yeah, just to answer your question, actually, as I said when I started, is that as early as July, we had started already noticing some early warnings of drought, which will eventually become famine. And that's when I told you we went to the special program office to be able to find out how we can go about this. And all this is around about planning, because as early as July, things were not bad as such, but we wanted the planning to be done as early as possible, because the issue of logistic of transportation of food really takes a lot of time. And as he says, we also went to and saw the deputy president offer the same. And to an extent, myself, I had to actually solicit a statement from the parliament on who is responsible for the relief and disaster food, because after seeing the PS for special program and then seeing the governor, and then they were throwing the ball on those sides. So it was not clear for us who is responsible for this. So we wanted the committee on labor and social services to be able to tell us exactly who is responsible. Is it the special